Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. This is total nonsense. Check this out for a subtitle. There may be viewers who are like, this is the story we were hoping to get in Season 1. In Season 2, we're giving it to them. So why didn't you... What? So you freely admit that Season 1 of The Rings of Power is bad because you're literally saying, yeah, no, people probably, were wanting a better season. Well, we'll give it to them in Season 2. Yeah, so if you haven't lost everyone, which you have, most people think this show is utter garbage. Check this out. The Rings of Power showrunner Sauron will be like Walter White. I'd never in a million years would I think Tolkien would be compared to Breaking Bad. Just let that sink in, ladies and gents. That's where we're at. This is hilarious. The Rings of Power showrunners come out once again, and they are just talking absolute garbage. But it just goes to show how amateurish they actually are. So the Rings of Power's biggest Season 1 secret is out. Yes, biggest Season 1 secret. What, Sauron's Halbrand? Oh no, what a secret. Sauron has been hiding in plain sight as Halbrand. Everyone knew. The Aragorn-like drifter who pretended, or at least allowed Galadriel to believe, that he was a long-lost king of the Southlands. Everyone knew you were Sauron, mate. Showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay gave The Hollywood Reporter some insight into the thought process of introducing the Dark Lord as a charming, low man, and also teased what comes next for the character in Season 2. I cannot wait for this. Spoiler alert, it's really shit. What's in the Lord of the Rings books is an all-encompassing evil that everyone is afraid of and is so powerful. It doesn't have to be manifested physically. He's an image of an eye in Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings films. He's the eye on the tower. We felt Sauron should be a character in his own right. We wanted to study the currents running within him in a way that hopefully would reward audiences as they follow him moving forward as he becomes the Dark Lord. Are they going to make him sympathetic? What do you reckon? 10 guesses. You know him as a person outside the name Sauron. In some ways, we wanted to do an origin story for Sauron. We didn't want to make a show that was about the hunt for Sauron, but we love the idea of Sauron as a deceiver who could, hopefully, deceive some of the audience. No one was deceived. There's something that Milton does in Paradise Lost that we talked about a lot, where he makes Satan a really compelling character. In some ways, he's the first anti-hero. Where he's compelling and you can't take your eyes off him. Milton did that on purpose because he wants you to fall along with Adam and Eve. He wants Satan to be so persuasive that he also seduces the reader and you're unconsciously won over, so that you perceive your own fallenness and your need for redemption. They are going to make him sympathetic. Oh dear. I'm so sick of sympathetic. The thing is, you're not going to make this character that persuasive as a sympathetic villain. Villains with conviction that genuinely believe in their own actions are actually the most compelling. Sympathetic villains just... Why can't we just have pure evil? Seriously? In Tolkien, Sauron is a deceiver, and we know that in the Second Age he appears in fair form. So what if he sneaks up on you and is able to get you to sympathise with him and get you to be on board with him, so that once you actually realise who he is, that he's already got his hooks in you. So it's not just as easy as this person is evil, I'm going to back away, because you've already formed some level of attachment to him. What if we could get the audience to go through a similar journey? This is the biggest pile of nonsense. Just writing 101, sympathetic villains. No, give us an out-and-out true villain. Give us a villain with conviction that genuinely believes in his actions, because they're terrifying. A villain that knows what he's doing but genuinely believes it's the best course. Yeah, wow. Not this sympathetic nonsense. Many online had guessed Halbrand was Sauron along the way, everyone did. Which showrunners note is just fine with them. The goal wasn't to fool everybody with a twist that feels totally out of the blue. Yes, it was. There were literally interviews where they were like, you won't guess what's coming. If you had a sneaking suspicion over the course of an entire season, and then that suspicion is ultimately confirmed, that's an emotional engagement. Tragedy is one of the highest art forms. There's a reason people are still putting on Romeo and Juliet hundreds of years after it was written, even though you know what's going to happen at the end. A surprise only rewards you on one viewing. I hope after the last episode airs, viewers watch the whole season again, which is now a different experience. We hope that, as we get into Season 2, it makes people like Season 1 even better, because you're seeing it through a new prism. Oh my god, they're really banking on this, aren't they? Speaking of the next season, here we go. Season 1 opens with, who is Galadriel? Where did she come from? What did she suffer? Why is she so driven? Why did we suffer watching her? We're doing the same thing with Sauron in Season 2. We'll fill in all the missing pieces. Oh, I just can't wait. Sauron can now just be Sauron, like Tony Soprano or Walter White. He's evil, but complexly evil. We felt like if we did that in Season 1, he'd overshadow everything else. So the first season is like Batman Begins, and The Dark Knight is the next movie, with Sauron manoeuvring out in the open. We're really excited. Season 2 has a canonical story. There may well be viewers who are like, this is the story we were hoping to get in Season 1. Well, in Season 2, we're giving it to them. You know what I really want from my series? What I really want is to watch a whole season, not getting what I want, and then get that in Season 2. That's what I want. Don't you want that? No? No, me neither, actually, come to think of it. That sounds like absolute dog poo. This is terrible. This is actually terrible. And the fact that they're like, God, there were interviews where they're like, haha, all your Sauron theories are wrong. There'll be loads of twists. It's like everything people thought has happened has happened. And if that was the case, why even keep it a secret? Why don't you actually just show them out in plain sight a little bit more at the start? All of this is just so rank amateur. What a shame. What an absolute shame this is. Garbage. Genuinely garbage. But yeah, what did you think of the finale? I thought it was poo, obviously. But I'd genuinely be keen to hear what you guys think. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Did you thought Halbrand was Sauron? Drop your thoughts down below. Yesterday was difficult for me. 2 garbage things to review. Not fun. And by that I mean Rings of Power and then Halloween Ends, which was also awful. Awful.